Hello, you wonderful people, and welcome to another episode of Crime Centric. This being a show where I talk about crime dramas that I watch. For today's episode, I'm going to talk about the latest episode of Ray Donovan. A lot of stuff went down in this episode, so let's break it down. First of all, we had the whole situation with Terry leaving baby Maria in the hands of Bridget, which is like, that's a lot to ask her to do, but it's also interesting because obviously he knows what he was doing was wrong. It's like, oh, I'm asking you to look after her so I can go do a fight that I shouldn't be doing because it could literally kill me. But I guess for Terry, he's just kind of been lost for so long, and he wants, I guess, that glory, that attention back. He wants to feel like a fighter instead of someone just training fighters, essentially, you know. I guess he feels, he isn't who he used to be, and I guess to reclaim some control over himself, not let anything kind of keep him down or keep him away from who he wants to be. I guess he's just tired of just being this Terry. I guess he wants to kind of be back to being that old Terry in some shape or form. I don't know. It's really, I chalk that up. It seems like a control thing. The reason why he's doing what he's doing, kind of want to relive his glory days to be someone special again, I guess. I love that. Even Bridget being like, this is a felony. Because he even lies. Doesn't even tell her over the phone like, oh yeah, like, come do the old Maria thing. He waits till she shows up and it's like, no. She's like, this is a felony. He's like, no, she's not a felony. She's family. Maria, you're not a felony. You're not a felony, huh? So it's like, he put her in that situation. And then that leads to her calling Teresa, which now at the beginning we can just say it's all Terry's fault. None of this would have fallen out the way it did if he had not put Bridget in that situation. So that was his fault for like wanting to go do these fights and stuff like that instead of doing what Bunchy asked you to do. There's that. But man, oh man, is that fallout between Bunchy and Teresa. It's like, she's like, you're doing all this because I fucked somebody else. I was honest with you. I just wanted to fix things. He's like, the fact of the matter is, it was proof that you didn't love me. I would have never done something like that, but I was there with our child waiting for you. And the fact that you did something like that means you didn't love me. And she's like, truth be told is, you wanted me to love you, I didn't. It always kind of seemed like that in a sense, but it seemed like at the very least Teresa was trying. I mean, y'all got married and everything too, because it turns out Bunchy's the one that filed for divorce and everything like that. But it's such a shame that things kind of played out that way. But like it's a back and forth situation. Like Bunchy should have never done what he did, but at the same time you understand why he did it. It's like when he breaks it down like that, it's like, oh, like because for him it's like, the fact of the matter is, you want to sit here and blame me. You can't have it both ways where you want to be like, it's my fault, but I'm the one that went around and screwed somebody else behind your back. Because he's like, for him, it's like, I'm the one that takes care of our daughter, but you, the court sides with you. Because, I mean, and I think that's statistically how that typically goes, no matter what the situation is. Just because statistically, like, the courts will typically side more in the mother's favor, which can suck in a situation like this, because it's not like Bunchy's a terrible person, but it's still kind of like, you're taking my daughter away from me, which once again, I was there taking care of her while you were off screwing someone else. It's like you were supposed to be, doing your Libre thing, and it's just kind of like, and you could tell like some of the points he made were kind of getting to Teresa, because she had to even acknowledge like some of those points, like there was validity to it. Does that change what Bunchy did? No, him doing what he did still had no right, because that is still Maria's mother. The fact that she was worried sick about the baby, but at the same time it's kind of like, but for him it's like, I should have never broken you out of that nut house. It's kind of like F you for even, it's all your fault. You're the one that kind of started all this, like, because she's like, oh, we could have been just a happy family. I might not have been in love with you, but we created this baby. We could have been, so like I said, no one's innocent in the situation. It's just an all messed up situation. And Teresa takes the baby, and it's like, things aren't going to look good on that front. I'm curious. I doubt she's going to get the authorities involved. She might, because this might be a situation of she wants sole custody. She might get like a restraining order against Bunchy. Potentially. I don't know. Maybe there's some part of her that does care about him and won't go that far because she wants him to be somewhere in Maria's life. Maybe she's so mad she decides to do that. It's hard to say. Kind of lean towards the fact that she might do that, where it's just kind of like put Bunchy away because, him doing what he did. It's not like he doesn't love his daughter, but it's just a messed up situation. Even Bunchy's like, why did you do that, Bridget? Because she's like, in fact, that's her mom. And he's like, so we're family. Like, you're not even related to Teresa. We're family. But for her, it's like, I guess I know what it's like to miss your mom. And Bunchy's like, me too. But because he's like, you act like that's, because it's like family should come first. It's like, he's like, I get you miss your mom. I missed my mom most of my life. I still do. But the fact of the matter is, you shouldn't have done that. And even Bridget's kind of being like, it's never easy with this family, which is so true. It's always a complicated thing with the Donovans. It can never be simple. Simple. It's like that was Bridget put in an impossible situation because like the mother of that child is worried about her, and it's like she also knows what it's like to like miss your mom, like because Bunchy doing what he would have done would have taken her away from Teresa forever. So growing up not knowing your mom, that's a tough thing. I mean, it's tough, like on Bridget, just losing her mom is still such a fresh wound, you know? But like I said, it's just a complicated situation. But once again, it's like, yeah, the Donovans never make anything easy. It's always got to be something complicated. So it's actually sad because all this after Bunchy had his like, you know, victory today. It's like, oh, he's doing the victory lap, getting Teresa, and it's like, getting Maria, and bam, he gets sucker punched like that. So it's like I said, a complicated thing. Because I love that whole thing with him and Mick in the sense of like that preacher comes up to him and everything. He's like, oh, your father, Braden. Like, oh, Father deflating, and a bunch of like, right. I got it. At first, I didn't get it. I was like, I was like, oh, right. But then he made it. I was like, okay, I got it. The whole Tom Brady thing, I got it. Because I thought it was kind of interesting. Because I was like, why is he there? Isn't he supposed to be on the bus? It's like, no, they changed up the plan. I was like, okay, that's interesting. Like, completely different plan than the original. But I love that, like, Mickey's robbing him, and that lady's like, no, I'm not giving you this. It's for my daughter, and kicks Mickey in the shin, and he's like, ow. And then that guy, like, legitimately, when I saw that guy, and maybe that's just me being the stereotypical guy I am, like I was looking at dudes like he's actually going to rob. I was like, won't it be funny if that guy's trying to rob the bus before Mickey came? But it's like, oh, he's the hero in this situation, so that's good. There was also part of me that's like, it'd be a little sick and funny if the dude after all that he's like, whew, okay, now pony up all your stuff because I'm robbing you. I would have loved that to be the case. I thought that would have been the funniest thing ever, and then we would have had Mickey and him at first, like, you know, before Mickey ended up getting taken off the bus. But it would have been funny if it was like, wait, I'm trying to rob this place. No, I'm trying to rob the place. Okay, how about we work together and we split? I thought it'd been so dope if something like that happened. But I love Bunchy being like, we're not going to shoot somebody. You're not going to kill somebody. Mick, I swear if you do, I'm going to kill you. And then he drops all the stuff and he takes the lady's bag and she's like, you're going to hell. And he's like, so are you and your daughter. If I am, you're going right along with me. So is your daughter. I thought that was such a good line. And then them quickly robbing the check cashing place because like Bunchy is like, no, that wasn't right because that would have hurt some people. But it's like, now this way, bam, get some quick cash, rob the place. That went down successfully. So it's like, hey, we did it. Yeah, a little father-son bonding moment in a weird, twisted way, Donovan style. So I thought that was kind of interesting. It's like I said, had that victory and it just kind of blew up in his face, and Bunchy's just kind of like, I'm done. I'm curious, it seems like Mickey might run. I mean, he kind of has all the reason to because he can't stick around. Even, he's like, I love you, son. He's like, I'm not going to leave without you, which it's like you kind of have no choice at this point in time. I guess you can say that, but at the same time, it's like, yeah, the fact that, I mean, you can make the argument, it's like, yeah, this is all your fault too, Mickey. It's like, this wouldn't have happened. Maybe Bunchy would have taken Maria. That would have been a thing, but the fact is he busted you out and everything, it's just, he had no one. So it's just, man, the Donovans are messing up on all fronts because a lot of this could have been avoided if they had contacted Ray. Like, the fact of the matter is, like, because even Terry was like, oh yeah, telling Bridget not to tell Ray about it, which even Ray is still in the dark about this whole situation. So there's that. Then on top of all this, you get Sam getting pistol whipped because the guy's telling her to drop out the race. And she's so calm about it. She's like, yeah, someone broke into my place. Ray's like, are you okay? She's like, no, someone broke into my fucking house. And she's so calm about it. Like, even after everything, even Ray's been like, when he goes over there with Lena, it's like, yo, you need to sit down. I also love that thing where Lena was like, what do you think about her? And Ray's kind of like, I think she's a little old for you. And she's like, I think you're a little old, as he was walking away. It's like, I love that Lena, because I feel like Lena didn't used to talk on, like, shit talk Ray as much as she has this season. Like, maybe she has, but I don't remember her doing that as much. She's like, she says something like some super, like, she talked mad shit this season, and I love it because she just says a lot of that stuff under her breath, and it's just like, oh, thanks a lot. You know, it's just, I guess it's like after years of everything, and plus, you know, in between seasons like this, like that time moment, I guess like all that just kind of pushed Lena to be like, nah, Ray, I'm gonna speak my mind, even though she doesn't speak it directly to him, but she will. But I'm sure, but it's just kind of funny to me that I just like that aspect about her. I actually like the fact that her and Sam kind of bonded too, because it's like, oh yeah, you know, Sam's like, have you ever bit someone before? It's like, yeah. In jail, aggravated assault, 18 months. I bit a lady who No, she had bit someone in jail, but she was in jail because she had hit someone because a later was picking on someone even smaller, and Lena didn't like that. You know, and it's actually kind of interesting because Sam was like, "Oh, you come from money, don't you?" And she's like, "My grandfather's rich," and she's like, "Ah, how very vague," which is like, that's interesting. Because Lena's one of those characters, I feel like they don't really tell you much about Lena. Even the whole Avi situation, you learn a little bit about Avi here and there because, like, you pop up stuff about his mom here and there, but it was like, even Lena, like, I feel like the extent you really got to know about Lena is like her exes. You see her with different women all the time. That's kind of the extent of that. Like, you know, relationships probably aren't kind of her forte. Is at the most that it seems like they might kind of set up about her, which is kind of interesting because it seems like that's kind of what her. Yeah, Ray was married and everything, but still, like, obviously he has that whole thing about cheating on people, cheating on Abby. Once again, I brought this up last season. It's like, this is the first season he didn't cheat on Abby. He literally cheated on her every season at some point in time. Sad thing, he even cheated on her while she was dying, which is the most effed up thing. But it's like, yeah, this time hooking up with Anita is kind of no need to be. I did like that story that dude at the security camera place had told Ray. It was kind of like, oh yeah, like first time he met Abby, they had never met before that moment. She was like, yeah, it smells like hooker pussy in here or something like that. And it kind of, you see Ray kind of smiles because he's thinking back to it and just being like, yeah, that was my Abby, you know? And I thought that was just kind of like a nice little bonding moment to get him just to think about Abby. I thought that was kind of pretty neat. So, also what's crazy is there's a lot of other stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and talk about the dude who went into her place, Sam's place, that cop, Danny. Isn't that the same actor who plays one of the dirty cops in season 1 of Daredevil? I'm pretty sure it is, which is like, yo! Which is interesting. Now you're playing a dirty cop in something else too, which is funny. That's New York and this is New York. So I just think that I'm pretty sure it's the same actor. He's the one that ended up. I forgot. I'm pretty sure he ended up. Yeah, because he's the one that got killed. Where it's like, oh yeah, the Devil of Hell's Kitchen got blamed for his death. It's like, oh, he was poisoned. That whole thing. Nevertheless, that whole situation. So I think that's the same actor. I could be wrong though. I'm sitting here thinking about it, but who knows? But that guy is a cop because Ray had called up Mac about looking into this, and it's like Mac is like, yeah, man, those security cameras don't work. Ask his buddy. It's like, oh no, they 100% work. And it's like Ray realizes who he is, and it's like, why did you lie to me, Mac? Mac's got a lot going on. For one, he's dirty and obviously working for the mayor, and at the same time, which also love that scene where Ray was like, you went too far. I guess because for Ray, it's like when it comes to stuff against women, he does not appreciate that. It really pisses him off when you do that, because I think it's also because, for one, he likes Sam and Sam's been good to him a lot, so it makes you wonder on some level, does he look at Sam kind of almost like a motherly figure in some regard? Like she's a nice enough lady, so for him it's like, yeah, I mean, to be fair, it's like, which is kind of crazy because even Sam points it out, it's like being in the business that she's in, the way she kind of goes after people and gets what she wants, I'm surprised it's the first time she's ever been like, her house has ever been broken into, plus it's the first time she's ever been pistol whipped. Not the first time she was knocked unconscious. Granted, that other situation was different, as she explained, but I just thought that was kind of interesting. Like, her line of work, that's the first time that's ever happened. But to be fair, she's kind of getting... Well, I don't know, because she's made some power plays before, where she's gotten death threats. She had talked about it in his episode. And it's like, oh yeah, I sold that property that I got all these death threats about and stuff like that. I got what I wanted, sold it 2 years later, and made a huge ass profit. She's like, I don't back down for nothing. I don't care if the mayor is backing all these people. What I was going to before, like, I know I'm getting all over the place, so I do apologize. But when that dude was like, do you know who you're... Bam! Ray hits him in the throat. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, if you ever come near her again, I will kill you. Like, Ray really doesn't play about that stuff. I think I never really paid a lot of attention to that aspect about him, but it's like, yeah, he's stuck up for women in the past too. I think it's just anyone that's vulnerable and being hurt or taken advantage of, he doesn't appreciate that. But I think really it's a very, I think it shines even more through when it's something like that happening to a lady, I think. But once again, it's also someone that he knows too, so I think that adds even extra layer upon it. So. But yeah, Mac was telling him to back away from all of this because Mac knows, for one, it's like, this is the mayor, you ain't going to deal with that. Like, it's just, like, they know what you did in the park, the whole Anita situation, setting that all up. It's like, we know you did that. They've been keeping an eye on you probably ever since they found out he was working for Sam / Anita. Or at the very least, ever since he came into town, the mayor probably took note to be like, oh, Probably because Mac probably told him. Probably the other cops might have seen Mac with Ray, so that might have been the whole thing. I don't know. Might have been when he got arrested that the mayor was like, oh yeah, I know all about that potential. That's kind of it. But it seems like he's had his eye on Ray the entire time Ray's been here, so. But also Mac is in that position where the IA agent wants him to kind of dig deeper because he wants to know more about this whole, oh yeah, the mayor, which is kind of interesting. Now you're kind of rooting for Sam to kind of take him down even more because it's like, oh yeah, he was kind of a douche before, but now he's even more of a douche because he's doing what he's doing. So he still should beware because it's like you're kind of forgetting who you're messing with. For one, you're messing with Sam, plus you're messing with Ray. So Ray's really going to kill you when he gets a chance, especially at the end because Ray gets arrested. Now, whether he's getting arrested or they just want to take him somewhere and beat the smack out of him, bring him to the mayor, send him down, and then the mayor is like, okay, this is how it's going to go. Which is sad because Mac did try to warn him out of this, but Mac just found himself in this situation. He's kind of screwed, but I think that might be another reason why. It might be because Mac's not too... Well, for one, he knows if he turns on the mayor's going to have him killed as well as the other cop. Well, the other cops are going to be, the mayor's hitmen, and they'll take him out when need be. So I'm sure that's one side of it. But also because he probably doesn't want Ray getting caught up in this whole IA investigation that's going down. So maybe that's it. But I think it's more so the first one because he's like, leave Sam, leave this whole Anita situation behind and go. But Ray didn't. The fact is, Ray kind of was out in public. He was going to Staten Island. I guess, was this the point? Because he knew they were going to come after him anyway. What's going to happen with that? To be fair, the fact of the matter is Sam's got his back too. Because, he's like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to protect you from cops if you go up against them. Which she's like, this is basically who I am. She's like, who are you, Ray? And the fact is that he's like, I'll get it done. I'll handle this. And she smiles because she's kind of proud that he's sticking by her through all this stuff. I'm very, very interested to see what goes down on that front. You got Terry deciding to go up against that fight. Also, pretty brutal that he broke that dude's arm. But yeah, I guess like the whole thing that's hooked up to his head, like he can control like how much of a dosage he gets or whatever. And when he pumps it up to a certain extent above where it's supposed to be, it seems like he gets a little hyperactive, like he's on drugs or something. Kind of gives him a little bit of a high, but I guess it gives him focus. Maybe he doesn't focus on the pain as much. It kind of keeps his balance, keeps him centered, even though it makes him seem a little jittery, erratic in a certain regards. So, but now he's going up in a fight that's going to be him versus like 7 other people. And even Big Easy's like, man, we all die sometimes. Because like Terry at first was like, no, I'm not going to do it. But I guess, I don't know. Maybe because when things aren't going right in his life, he needs that thrill. Because it's like he waits till now. Because initially he wasn't going to do it. But now that this whole Maria Teresa Bunchy situation played out the way it did, it's like maybe that's enough to make him kind of change his mind. I don't know. I don't really 100% know what's going through Terry's head, but you can definitely tell, yeah, this situation isn't going to end well when that comes about, but we'll ultimately have to wait and see. But like I said, I'm interested to see what Mickey ultimately goes about. There's also the whole Sandy situation. It's going to be interesting if he crosses paths with Sandy. To be fair, Ray knows exactly where Sandy is. Granted, he doesn't know that Bunchy and Mickey don't have the money. Because if he knew Sandy had the money, he'd go ahead and get it. But the main reason he's not going after it necessarily now is because he thinks, oh, Bunchy's away, and it's like he doesn't want to screw over his brother. Mickey, he doesn't care much about, but it's because it's Bunchy and his kid, so he's reluctant. But the moment he finds out Sandy's got it, it's like, oh, he's going to go take it. So, but I guess that's another benefit of Ray not knowing the Bunchy's circumstances right now because he jumped on that situation. But, once again, another element we'll kind of have to wait and see. I'm very interested to see where all of this takes us into the next episode. But really, that's all I want to talk about. To the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and good